world? I need your focus.
What is poppin' squad? It's your boy, and today we have ourselves my version of the end game bow build based around stamina. So for those people who have been playing Monster Hunter and you're actually using the bow, you realize how hard it is when you run out of stamina to do all your combos, to be able to execute those good shots and be able to survive, especially because you use stamina to dodge. With this build, you'll be able to do that effortlessly. You will feel super combo-esque when you're out there, when you're fighting monsters. So without further ado, let's get into the build itself. So going into my equipment info, off the bat you can see that my attack's at 202 and my defense is at 227. It's not as high as I wanted to. Obviously I'm still grinding, but for the most part it is pretty tanky, especially when you come across these higher ranking monsters. Going into my equipment info, I am rocking a Kodachi strike bow, which is base thunder element. I love thunder more than anything. I like stuns. I like the paralyzed. That's kind of my realm I like playing. So you can use any bow, obviously, with depending on whatever monster you're fighting. You should have multiple bows anyways, but for me, I feel thunder has the least weaknesses around. I feel whatever I'm detrimental towards the monsters that I'm fighting, I don't have to really worry when I'm using thunder. So going into my Kodachi helm, it's also rarity 5, level 4. It has level 2 constitution, and this is the bread and butter of the build. So what makes this build so powerful is constitution. Constitution is the best skill in my opinion for bows, because you are able to link combos over and over and over. You don't have to kind of spam like a lot of people are doing. They're just spam dragon piercer all the time, because that's the most damage. But little do you know, you can get so much more DPS off of just shooting unlimited charge shots with your stamina being so high and barely taking off as you dodge. So constitution going in, let me go into details. You can see it reduces stamina depletion when performing stamina draining moves such as evading, etc. And when etc., What they're actually saying is when you're evading, when you're diving, when you're sprinting, when you're shooting your bow, or whatever that takes away stamina, it's a depletion. You can see I have level 3 on this build. That's because I have 2 from my helm, and I'll get into where I get the other one from. As of right now, I have a 30% fixed stamina depletion resistance. So I use actually 30% less stamina than everybody else in everything I do, and that adds up huge, especially when everything you do as a bow user revolves around stamina. So going into the bone mail chest, also a rarity 5 level 4 with attack boost 2, and that's amazing. I love it. I didn't need to get the B version because who doesn't want extra attack, especially as a DPS build with the bow? It's pretty much what you're doing. You want to put constant pressure. So going into what attack boost does, obviously you get +3 attack for every level, and this one gives me 2, so I basically get 6 attack just from this chest piece. Going down to the bone van braces, I have slugger and attack boost rarity 5 level 4, defense 42, and you can see it comes with 2 skills, which is amazing, and they actually work perfectly with each other because I have extra stun power, which complements thunder and complements paralyze to the fullest. I mean, you want to have as much capabilities of nullifying monsters, especially when they're one-tapping you and destroying you. This is kind of how you want to have it to protect yourself. And also, of course, it also comes with attack boost, so that also gives me an extra little boost in DPS. So going down to this part, this is where I would pretty much change it. As of right now, I'm pretty safe with Zora Spine B, and that's because I have a slot and I have Fortify. It's rarity 6 with a 44 defense, and it has a free slot. Going into the slot, you can see I have Intimidator Jewel, and the reason I'm using Intimidator Jewel is because I'll go into it right here. It reduces the chances of small monsters will attack spawn you, so it's kind of like de-aggroing the situation. I would probably switch this for like Constitution or anything to do with stamina, but for now this is really good, especially when you don't want to get your Dragon Pierce ruined by a small monster that's just bugging you in the middle of a fight or any aggro period. So, and Fortify is amazing to me. Even though you have to die for it to activate, it increases your attack and defense every time you fall in battle. So level 1, you can see it increases attack by 10% and defense by 15% with each use. And I'm not sure every time you die if it buffs you in stacks, but I mean, if it does, that's crazy. But it says with each use, so I don't know, maybe. And oh, I'm blind right here. This effect can stack twice, so you get 20% attack and 30% defense. I literally just noticed that right now. Perfect. So you guys can see this effect can stack twice, 20% attack and 30% defense. So that's really good, especially when you're doing expeditions. You can kind of like cheese it by killing yourself on the beginning of the expedition just so you can walk around with that buff, and it's crazy. So yeah. Going into my Kodachi Greaves, if we see right here, Thunder Resistance and Constitution. The only reason I'm really rocking these for Constitution, nothing else really had it. It's cool to have Thunder Resistance. I'd rather have something else, but you have to read what you sell. 48 defense, rarity 5. Thunder Resistance, I get a +12 Thunder Resistance, and of course I get another Constitution, which puts me at level 3. So that's how I got my level 3. I got it from my Greaves, and I got it from my helm. So that's 3. That's all you pretty much need to be performing what I've been doing in the video prior to this. When you're watching the gameplay, we're able to do the step dodge, shoot, and be able to be good. So going into my charm, it is attack charm level 2. Nothing too fancy. You guys already know. I already explained. That's attack boost. That's why I'm at a whopping 6. I'm 1 away from level 7. I'm either waiting to find it on another piece of gear or get another jewel or whatnot. But at level 7, you can see I get +21 attack and 5% affinity. Now going into preference, I prefer Vitality Mantle. Negates a fixed amount of damage after which the effect expires. It's basically God mode for 120 seconds, depending on what damage you're taking. It saves you in crazy situations. Let's say you're one shot, you don't have heals, you're waiting for your Vigoroth to respawn to get some heals, or you're waiting to get away. You pop this on, you're good, you're safe. It's really hard for this to get one tapped off. You probably have to be fighting like an Elder Dragon or something for that to happen, but against most monsters while you're farming and stuff, it's pretty much immortality. So, and for a sniper, that's what you want. Somebody, let's say you're squishy, and if you're building a glass cannon, this is the go-to thing. The only other thing I would put is probably the fountain, where you just pop down health, but I mean, at the most part, you're going to be dodging everything. That's how the build's based around, so that's pretty much how you want to do it. So that's pretty much it. You guys can see attack boost level 6, Constitution level 3, Thunder Resistance level 2, Slugger, Fortify, and Intimidator. That is my endgame bow stamina build so far. I'm going to be making adjustments to it in the near future, the more I come across higher level gear, and just to see what kind of buffs I can do. But as of right now, this is the DPS stamina version I'm running, and it's pretty nice. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the very first Monster Hunter build. It's been real. Your boy is out.